Hey guys, how we doing today? Currently walking into the door right now.
Oh, hello. There we go. I think that we back in business, y'all. We back in business. So, welcome, y'all. Everybody who doesn't know me, I'm Coach Johnson. This is Meaningful Mondays today. Whereas Meaningful Mondays, we talk about specific topics. Any topics from teenagers, young adults, preteens, any topics we want to talk about. Today, we want to talk about mental health. We do have a special guest coming on today. Her name is Miss Morgan. So yeah, we're gonna get this ball rolling. There she go. How you doing this Morgan?
Hey, how you doing? I'm tripping out right now because I'm looking at two screens. So I'm trying to make sure that I stay focused and stay forward. What's up?
Nothing much. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. How are you?
We're living life, maintaining.
You said you live in life what?
Maintaining.
Like what?
Maintaining.
Oh, maintaining. Okay, no, because earlier I had said living life like it was golden. So I thought that's what you had said. That's not what you said.
I said living life, maintaining.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, what we got today, Coach Johnson? What would you like me to talk about?
Mental health.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with like my kind of story, and guess kind of struggles with certain mental health things, and then you can ask questions if you want to, and let me know if anybody else has any questions. So I personally deal with anxiety issues, and it's become worse in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. So I'll have anxiety is like, I mean, there's different kinds of anxiety disorders, but basically I kind of like I deal with the becoming nervous and becoming kind of restless part of dealing with anxiety. So I am an overthinker. I'm also just very restless and very nervous about things to come. Um, so yeah, and I actually, as far as how it affects me, like I am a horrible sleeper. Um, it can affect my sleep in negative ways a lot of the time. Um, and it also like clouds my mind with a lot of thoughts, a lot of thoughts, like an overload of thoughts. Um, so yeah, and then in the midst of kind of this pandemic that we're going through, I mean, obviously it's hitting in all parts of the world pretty hard. But in particular, like as far as like the stay-at-home orders as far as just kind of all the precautions put in place in the midst of the pandemic, I personally am, well, when it first started, I was really afraid to go outside. I had a lot of nervousness and just kind of apprehension with going outside in general. So if I didn't have something that I needed, oh well, um, I wasn't going outside to get it. That was, it's not the healthiest way to deal in the midst of this, but that's just kind of what's true to me and what happened, what's been happening with me. So it's better now, but yeah, that's kind of just, I guess, my story with battling anxiety in a nutshell. So, any questions that you want to ask about that particular part?
Yeah, basically, like, so what made you like, well, how can I say this? Because I know I saw you like you went to the park, like went for like saw the water and stuff. Like, how did you gain enough stability and strength to do that?
Um, so that actually, that experience wasn't really, I don't want to say it wasn't for me, but basically like one of my close friends is dealing with something really personal right now, and she just I just want to make sure she feels supported in any kind of way, make sure her family feels supported. And obviously we can't like see our close friends or see our close family members right now unless was kind of like under that essential kind of thing. So that was a way to see her without having to touch her or be in close proximity of her. And then we're outside, we're not in a closed off area, and we're respecting like the social distancing laws or whatever, um, and we get to see something pretty also while we're doing it. So um, I just went outside, one because I knew like sunlight in general, when you let it like hit your skin and let it hit your body, it's supposed to make you feel like happier and put you in a better place. But also I went to go kind of be able to see her while still obeying those social distancing laws and spend some time with her. So that was an easier thing for me to decide because it wasn't necessarily like a like solely for me to go outside. So yeah, and I didn't have to touch anything. Yeah.
So what's up on me? Um, yeah, that's I see what you're talking about. How to go outside, cope with those things. I do go outside. I take walks. Well, I have to go outside to go get my medicine, but or I'll just go on the balcony. So stuff like that, little stuff like that. Can you go more into depth of like knowing the signs of mental health as well? Like knowing the signs, or you think you have mental health problems.
Yeah. So I am very just kind of careful with what I speak on as far as that because I'm gonna let y'all know I'm not a mental health professional. So what I'm saying is it's purely off of like personal experience. As far as somebody who is dealing with kind of what I deal with, I guess yeah, people would label it as anxiety and maybe some other things as well, but um I would say the way that it shows up in me is I withdraw from whatever I can withdraw from. So I prefer to be alone whenever I am experiencing, you know, an maybe an anxiety attack or just a lot of anxiety is happening and maybe some forms of like some sadness or whatever. So I withdraw from people and from things. So things that I may usually enjoy in that particular on that particular day may not be enjoyable to me. Or if you like I'm not really in a position where I can't really like pick up my phone and stuff, but it used to manifest in me like when I was younger, where I would not like if my phone was ringing or if somebody had like messaged me or whatever, I was not responding. Um, and sometimes I would let people know, and sometimes I wouldn't, and that wasn't respectful to other people. But so if you, for me personally, the signs are just like withdrawing from people. Um, Not enjoying things that I would normally enjoy. And also just like becoming overwhelmed quickly. Um, so those are those particular things that are specific to me. Um, so yeah. Um, did you want to kind of talk about what is specific to you as far as what people should look for if you are having, a mental health kind of crisis?
Yeah, for me, it's more of laying in your bed all day. I'm gonna say, yeah, laying in your bed all day, not wanting to be around other people, um, uh, over excessively eating could be like a sign of depression. Um, what else could be? Um, Listen to depression music, like ride wave, stuff like that. I mean, I get a little bit of ride wave in every day when I wake up and wash dishes, but I ain't depressed. I know my limits. You feel me? But like over accessory, listen to it just listening to it, like going to sleep with the earphones in the ear, listening to it, like that could be very depressing. Um, what else? Yeah, not wanting to be more social, because like I would say like people like me that's very like not antisocial at all, and like can really like be social people, and then they have that turn where you like you said withdraw from people where they don't want to be out. It's very different. Sorry. Yeah, it could be very different. It can show signs of anxiety or depression, stuff like that. Um, yeah, I think that's my ways that I pretty much do it. I think for me, it's like obsessively eating and listening to depressing music. Because once I start doing those two, then I start knowing something wrong. Yeah, but I've been doing a lot of that since the pandemic came. We know because the only thing I could do now is eat.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the only thing you can do, but it makes it easier being in the house to definitely eat more. Um, so yeah, man, I feel like in the midst of the pandemic, it's definitely easier. I mean, well, let me not say easier, but it's definitely more difficult to kind of overcome whatever mental health issues that you may be experiencing. Um, so yeah, I definitely understand that. I feel like though with my particular, struggles, a lot of people probably won't see it. And that's why it's hard for me to personally speak on like signs because you have to be really looking, and you have to be really, really paying attention, in order to know what it looks like inside of me. So I can say it to you, but 9 times out of 10, people won't know. Um, and that's not the healthiest either. But that's just again, that's personal to me. That's kind of what goes on with me. So yeah.
I can definitely agree with that. Sometimes it's like that with me too, but I have my days where I'll have like depression or I'm sorry, or I sleep a lot and my sleep schedule messed up. So yeah, like the other day, I slept from 3 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not good. That's not good at all. it's just not good enough. See, but I'm not depressed or nothing. It's like I really be having nothing to do, so I would sleep, and I wouldn't know how long I sleep though until I wake up. I'd be like, I didn't slept the whole day away basically, So, um, I can say mental health, depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia. Because a lot of people think schizophrenia is not real, but it's real. Schizophrenia. What else is that mental? Because I went to I was I went to an institution before. It's called PIW. Yeah, the Psychiatric Institution of Washington. I went there before. It was like just be 2 years now. 2 years now. So I would say I went there and people was like, it was different. Like I was exposed to different things. What can I say? Like I was exposed to some schizophrenia, some like real bad bipolar people. Like it was different. So like where mine's though is I'll have just like a little bit of depression, anxiety. So what I'm trying to basically say is it's like different types of levels. I can say like you might think you're going through something really dangerous and really harmful, but like it's people out there that's going through 10 times as worse than you, like until you actually witness it. Because when I witnessed it, I was like, oh wow, this is really serious. Like, I thought I was taking mental health for a joke at the moment, but it was actually serious. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
mental. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, I'm done.
I was just saying, mental health struggles are absolutely real. And I think a lot of people, especially a lot of people in our particular community, the Black community, I feel like now, people are getting a hold of it and knowing the signs of certain, things and, more aware of it, but definitely, still in some households and still in some, just environments, like it's not really acceptable to be like, oh, I'm depressed, or oh, I'm suffering from anxiety or something like that, because a lot of times, especially like with older folks that may not understand or may not have had the kind of label that we have now, they're like, oh, well, whatever, go lay down, or you'll be fine, or just get some rest or something like that, and then you'll be fine. But it can be so much more than that, and that's kind of why it's important to be aware of it and kind of know, some healthy ways to cope. If you don't have healthy ways to cope yet, then okay, we can try to figure out some healthier ways. But it's good to, um, if you're able to be able to, get yourself out of those particular episodes too, or know how to get yourself out of those particular episodes. I can't hear you, sweetie. You're on mute.
All right. What are some ways that you like cope with your mental health, or some ways that not just you but other people cope with mental health as well?
Um, so I think one of the biggest ways, that I personally kind of cope is, trying to talk to other people. Um, I'm not the best at it as far as when it comes to like my mental, kind of talking about my mental. But just having somebody to kind of listen to you and to understand you, and just there, then that kind of helps. I don't always use that resource like I should, um but that's there for me if I do choose to use that. I think that, if you're a writer, if you're that kind of person that likes to write things down and likes to journal. I used to be that kind of person, and it was really helpful when I was, to write down your thoughts about like anything. And we actually did this activity yesterday, for spiritual Sundays, where you write down like things that, well, the prompt was like, what is the devil trying to tell you, or what are other people trying to tell you that like aren't true. So you like write down, those things on a piece of paper, and then at the end we all like crumbled them up and then ripped them up, to just kind of show like you're releasing it, you're giving it to God, you're, you know, allowing him into your spirit and into your soul so that he can like repair kind of that damage that was done. Um, so I think that's a really, really good exercise. Like it's symbolic, but it's also literally you're taking something that, you're holding on to that, has been speaking negativity into your life, and you're literally ripping it up and getting rid of it. So that you can see yourself doing it, but so hopefully that translates like mentally. So I think that's really a helpful coping method, to write things down, and just kind of, if you can't talk to somebody, or if you feel like there's too many things going on in your head, just like dumping them on a piece of paper or into your notepad, into your phone, is helpful. Um, this one, again, I'm speaking just from like personal experience. So, having like productive distractions. Um, and the only reason that I'm kind of mentioning that one is, I mean, a lot of times you'll hear people say like you should deal with it head on, and be able to literally like cope with it and kind of nip it in the bud when it happens. But productive distractions can kind of like redirect some of those feelings. So if you are, feeling a little, you know, apprehensive or full of nerves, or you're, feeling in like a depressed mode, maybe you can redirect some of those feelings and use them to bring joy to somebody else, and then that will bring you joy. So, kind of having those things that you do, maybe I shouldn't call them productive, just distractions, but just doing things that you love and doing them often, um, can be helpful and kind of like coping. And then like having an accountability partner, or just like somebody that can like kind of get you together a little bit. Not someone that's like harsh, or well, not, maybe they are harsh, but not somebody that will like put you down for feeling the way that you feel. Somebody that will, validate you and say like, okay, I understand what you're feeling. I understand that, that's something that battle with. That's something that you kind of, struggle with. But then they're like, all right, well, we can stay like this for like a day, 2 days, whatever, but then we gotta kind of, hop on out of it, and do something else. And that kind of coping strategy is for those that like withdraw, or those that kind of lay around all day, or can't find the strength to get up, because that's a very real thing too. Not finding the strength to get up in the morning, or not finding the strength to do much of anything. So yeah, having that person that can kind of pull you out if you can't pull yourself out. Um, and then like identifying a greater purpose. So like, yeah, recognizing like I may feel sad, or I may feel, nervous, or I may feel overcome with grief or sadness, or just overcome and overwhelmed with life in general. um just identifying that like you may feel this way, and that this feeling is temporary, in the sense that like you don't want to allow it to hold you down. So just identifying like, okay, well, if I lay in bed all day, what is not getting done, or what is not being addressed, or what is not, happening as a result of me doing that. And then just realizing like your effect on other people. So if like you decide to withdraw from the world for a day or 2 or 3 or 6, but people rely on you for certain things, then it's unfair to those people, that rely on you, and that depend on you. So um, yeah, those are like ways that I try to use, and that I have used. before. How about you?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. For me, it's different. It's what I said. I'll listen to hype music. I have a whole playlist just hype music, and I know tentatively I'll be in the house now by myself because I'll be at work. But like if I feel like I'm depressed or I'm in a sad mood or I feel like I can't get out of bed, like I'll turn my speaker on and I'll get my music on and I'll start jumping around, listening to music, washing dishes, cleaning up, eating. And it'll be fun. And by the time you know, it'll be like 2 o'clock. So I'll be having fun, but like I won't be depressed anymore. Like I won't feel sad. I won't feel depressed, or I'll just be happy. Like I'm happy. I'm in a good mood. I'm hyped. I'm ready to do stuff. Ready to tackle on some ready to tackle on any problem that come my way because the music is like my discipline. Like I just listen to that music a lot. For me, it's basically just music. I mean, I say hang around people too, but like if I'm in like a depressed mode, anxiety mode, and I hang around somebody and they just keep talking and talking, I get annoyed faster than usual. So I don't like to really hang around people because I don't know. That's just me. Like I would really get annoyed if you're around me, and you might not be doing nothing wrong, but if I'm depressed or if I have my anxiety mode's kicking in or whatever's kicking in, and you just talking and stuff, I'm just gonna get annoyed with you. I'm gonna be like, can you leave me alone? And then you be looking at me like I didn't even do nothing wrong to you. But it's just like me as myself trying to work with myself. That's how I cope with it. So that's why I usually don't be around too many people when I'm in those type of moods, unless it's my family. More for say my grandfather or my uncles, stuff like that. More men in my family because they know how to. I know how to cope with them more often. Yeah, that's basically for me. Yeah, music is like my main thing to go to. I go to music for anything. I go to music for happy, sad, depressed, angry, in love. Like I go to music for anything. You know, music is just like a big one. Um, I got a question. Should we call this stress? You can have the person that has no mental health issues at all, but then they get stressed out. I would say stress is a mental health issue as well because when people get stressed out, oh boy, I'm stressed out right now for the schoolwork, and it's like I don't know what to do. Like, sometimes stressing you to either the feeling of, and we talk about it today on Miss Jody's success sessions with Miss Nia, and she was like, it'd be good stress and it's bad stress, and the bad stress could be like you can literally be like feel like this is overwhelming. You get overwhelmed and you just don't want to do nothing no more. And this happened earlier. I had a whole panic attack earlier on the phone with my teacher because I was like so much work and this, that, and the third. And she was breaking it down about if I do the work, if I don't do the work, what's going to happen, the grade, Rubik, and everything like that. So I'm better now about that. But like, and sometimes good stress can be like so much stuff happening to you, you just feel so overwhelmed. Like this what happened, this what happened, this what happened. Like you're stressed out, but it's like the good type of stress. So you don't really like look at it as stress. You just look at it as like joy, overwhelming. But it's like good stress and bad stress. But like, would you classify stress as like a mental health problem? Because I would.
Um, I'm not sure because like you were saying, like, and I guess like Miss Nia was saying also this morning, like if there's good stress and bad stress. So there's that like stress that creates like pressure on you to do better and to work harder. And to ultimately have like a better product or a better outcome. But then there's also that stress that makes you have those anxiety or those panic attacks that cause you to feel overwhelmed to the point where you don't feel like doing anything. And so I feel like on that bad stress tip, that yeah, it could look like, a mental health struggle, and it can be a mental health struggle on that bad stress tip. So I think stress is like a contributor, right? So stress as standing alone, maybe is not so much of a mental health issue, but I think stress contributes to mental health issues or mental health struggles that may be there already. So if you already struggle with anxiety, I think stress makes that level of anxiety higher. Um, versus, it actually being like a mental health issue. I wanted to go back to the music that you were talking about, and just kind of like how music is like a coping mechanism for you. Music, me and music have an interesting relationship. It's very, very interesting. Because I am a very like, my memory is very interesting. So like I can see an object or hear a song, or I feel like my overall memory is kind of average, but this particular like skill, I guess, if I'll see an object or remember a song or see like be on a certain street, and maybe I'm traveling on the same side of the street, like maybe I'm walking on the same side of the street that I was, and I'll associate certain memories with those moments and with those songs or whatever. So music for me, if I hear a certain song and it's associated with a bad memory, then I don't want to listen to music for the rest of the day. And that's just kind of how I operate. But then like I find myself a lot, I listen to music, of course, every day, but I find myself listening to music the heaviest when I'm angry. Which is not that often. But like if I'm angry, it's music all day. Hey, get your face off the camera. I'm not angry like that. Go ahead. Nope. We're gonna pause. Let's
More.
huh?
Anymore. You calm down a lot.
Speak. Speak,
I mean,
child.
back when we was at John Hopkins, you would just get mad at the little things. Not at us, but at the work. You be like, why is this water not hot? Why is my computer not coming on? Like, you know what? Why is my charger? See, this is the reason why, look, I got a headache. See, this medicine in the hype can kick in. See, you see what I'm talking about? Or you be like, why is that person, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing about it. Or do you be like, see, I sent them an email 2 days ago. They didn't respond back to me. I feel like they're disrespecting me. I'd be like, okay, like, this is creepy.
You have to understand the difference between anger and drama. I'm a very dramatic person. I'm very, very dramatic. So, yeah, that's not out of like pure anger. Like I'm not really angry with these people. I'm just dramatic. So it's like if it is an email or something that I'm talking about, I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, da, 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 da. But most of the time, like it's not really affecting me as far as like me being angry. It is what it is. I am very dramatic. So you have to know the difference between that. But as far as me becoming angry, I don't become angry that often. And it looks very different than that. And maybe that's why you think that that's anger, because I don't know if you've seen me angry, like for real before. Huh?
Angry.
Yeah, so that looks very, very different. When I'm angry for real, I'm not talking to nobody. I got my headphones in, do not bother me. If you need something, huh?
Gonna be there when you angry.
Yeah, no, I see, and I say this like all the time. People ask me about anger, like and what anger looks like for me. You don't want to know, because I could probably count on one hand where I've gotten angry enough to like hurt people's feelings or whatever. But like you don't want to know. You don't want to experience me being angry. It's just not. It's not a. It's the Miss Lola or the Miss Lola that you may know. That's not the person you getting with these angry.
You hurt people's feelings?
I mean, depends. It depends on if you acting stupid. If you're acting stupid and you try me when I'm angry, it depends. I'm gonna just tell you about yourself real quick, because it's just I already told you not to mess with me. I already told you not to engage in conversation with me right now. So if you want it, it's here. But it depends.
But I rarely get in that particular space because it's just that's a lot of energy. I'm very big on energy. I don't like putting my energy in places for no reason. So yeah, like I just try not to get angry, but what it looks like is I got both headphones in. I probably have music blasting to the point where I'll probably lose my hearing if I do it all the time. And I'll usually also kind of withdraw from people because I don't want to be around people when I'm angry because it's not fair to other people.
I don't think you should be around nobody when you're angry. I think you should be in your car. And I don't think you should be even be in your car because you might go 880 on a 30. You know?
Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Actually, driving helps me when I'm angry. I'm a reasonable driver when I'm angry and when I'm not.
God, she's lying. Anyway, it's like, nah, she can drive pretty nice, you know. She might break the law once in a blue moon, but hey, you know, everybody does.
I'm like, what? What you say? I'm like, what?
She might break the law a couple times here and there, but hey, you know,
No.
might bust a couple U-turns where it says no U-turns, but it's okay.
First of all, what?
You know, it's okay.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, music is different. Music can, how can I say this? Music can determine my emotions, and that's not good. I wouldn't say it's not good. It's good at some point. Like if me and a friend and Regis me and a friend, and like that person make me mad, or okay, better example. You know, they be like in a rap songs. You know, I'm not coming for any rappers, but they be like something. Brother switched up on me, and you know, got to hit him with the Glock. Some stupid stuff like that. You know, it like music speaks. Music speaks volume. You feel me? It definitely speaks volume, high tension, and certain things like Janae Eiko, Summer Walker, females artists like those, Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Cardi B, they all have that different type of vibe in music. So like if you want to listen to a lit vibe and you want to get hype, you go to Cardi B. You feel me? If you want to be lit but also calm and like a little bit of gangsterish with it, you go to Nicki Minaj. But if you just want to have like a cool little vibe, or you just want to like sit down and like really just listen to the music, vibe to it, just nod your head, like leave, like probably debrief about some things, you know, get some things off your mind. You can go to Naiko, you can go to Martha. You feel me? You're like different moods to different things. If you want to be listening to like love songs, stuff like that, you want to be in a little loving mood, stuff like that, you want to Beyonce. You know, it's just different vibes, different artists, different music, different genre of music give you different types of vibes. And like you said earlier, vibes, energies, I'm big on that too, because if your vibe is not right and you're like always depressed or like 80%, 70% of your life is depressed, then your vibe ain't good. And it's not good. Um, so yeah, music definitely helps a lot of people. Sometimes they say music can be like the trigger for people. Because like I said earlier, when I was in a psychiatric institution, I was telling them that I need to listen to music. And they were telling me like, oh, I can't listen to music. And I'll be like, why? We had a whole class on why we can listen to music. Because music can be a trigger. You know, music can like and be a young boy. He's a violent person. Well, I won't say a violent person, but he has some violent music. And some of his song lyrics can really what's the word? Influence. That's the word. Influence other people to do different things or influence people to do stuff. So like music is like it's a here and there situation. You gotta know when to use it. You know, you gotta know when to use it and know when to listen to it. Because like I said, listen to raw wave all day. 95% of the time you're going to be depressed. I'm just gonna keep it real. And you know, if you listen to like some A Boogie, 85% of the time you're gonna be depressed. Like Like if you listening to some like Beyonce, or some Janae Aiko, or some Nicki Minaj, 85% of the time you're gonna be lit or calm. You're gonna be in a soothing mood. So it's like different genres. Because music is I would say like more of the story. Music is a big influencer. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Have it.
Yeah, it is. It can be. And you have to be careful. So like I was saying, like I'm a big like all day I will listen to music from the time that I start being angry to the time that I stop being angry. The problem with that is that I listen to angry music while I'm angry. I don't listen to calm music while I'm angry. I listen to angry music. So it's a lot of stuff happening in those songs that I'm listening to. And so that's somehow it works, but that doesn't work for everybody. Because a lot of times if you listen to angry music while you're angry, you'll be angrier. But that's not how it works for me. And I don't want to hear not one love song when I'm angry. I don't want to hear not one because that's gonna make me angry. Like I don't want. I know it's really opposite, but that's personal to me. That's just what happens. So I need to be hearing like hardcore, like hip hop, like circa the late 80s, mid 90s hip hop.
And I agree with you. I believe, and I can't even lie. I have this whole. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have albums. I have 4 albums, 4 good albums. One of them is when I'm like, when I get like depressed, or stuff like that. I'll listen to that. I'll listen to this one album, and it'll just be like the difference between Rod Wave, Quando Rondo, A Boogie. Like it's not depressing songs, but it's songs to be like, yo, for real, like it's how it be. Like, dang, like wow. And I got this other album where it'd be nothing but hype songs. Everything when I play this just get hype. Then I got this one album where I just be like, the album is called Overthinking, and like it was like when I get depressed, when I start feeling myself getting depressed, I'll put that album on, and I'll just go ahead and sit down, and it makes me more depressed. I'd be like, wow, and then like it'll be the whole playlist, but then I'll tend to probably listen to that one song out of the whole playlist to really get the cope of it. So I'll probably be listening to that same song like 4 times for no reason. I don't know why, and I don't want to hear no hype song when I'm depressed. I'm depressed. I don't want to listen to that. But I don't know. Cam said how my day is going. Cam said, "How is your day going?" I said, "My day is going good."
Going well. Cam, how's your day going, honey? You've been grinding. I feel like you be grinding every day. So I assume that her day is busy because I be seeing your schedule. And the day don't be ending. So I assume that she's having a busy day. But I love it. I actually love to see her daily schedules every day. That's motivational. But yeah, y'all, I mean, I also feel like therapy, I can't speak about therapy as far as I can speak about it as an option, but I can't speak about it as far as like I have a therapist because I don't have a therapist. I don't actively work with somebody right now that has been trained and has, the knowledge as far as, dealing with mental health struggles. I will say that I have tried therapy and I don't know if try is a fair word to use because I didn't really give it probably the chance that I should have given it. I only went to one session with 2 different therapists, and I didn't really continue on after that. One of them, because I don't know, one of them, it was just like I felt like it was just too many steps to do as far as like logistic stuff. So like they didn't take my insurance. And so I had to figure out like money stuff, and the sessions were expensive. I mean, there definitely are therapists out there that take certain insurance, but this particular one, I liked her, but it was just a lot of stuff. associate, and then the other one I didn't like her. So yeah, that's definitely an option if that's something that is something that you want to seek out and something that you want to do. And also be okay with I guess using some of these words. A lot of us may not conform to certain labels, and um, that kind of gets me a lot of time because I do probably suffer from some aspects of depression, but I haven't said before, well, not that I haven't said it before, but I don't say that I suffer from depression. And that's a personal struggle within myself because I don't know. Maybe I do, and I'm not okay with saying it. But I definitely that's also a thing. So just identify some of the signs, y'all, and just try to get people that love you and support you around you, and get people that know you very well and are able to look at you and be like, something's off, you want to talk about it, that kind of thing, because mental health struggles look different in everybody. You can look it up, you can Google it, you can look at all the signs, you can look at some of the common signs, but the hard truth is it manifests differently in everybody. And yes, maybe me and Shalal, me and Coach Johnson, maybe we have, things that happen to us both, but we also have things that happen to us that are different. So just being aware of what it looks like for you, and being able to define it for yourself is helpful as well.
Definitely. Mental health. May is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, I'm aware.
I wasn't aware this morning.
What'd you say?
I wasn't aware until this morning when I woke up. I was like, oh, May. Well,
Yeah, mental health awareness month. So kicking it off, y'all. And I just, yeah, it's a very personal journey. Like if I haven't learned anything else, it's a very, very personal journey, and it's very reflective journey, and it's painful. It can be painful at times. But luckily there are supportive networks and organizations out there, and luckily I have people around me that love me and support me. Yeah, it's helpful.
okay. Okay, okay. You have any jewels for us today?
Do I have a jewel? No, it's like, all right. My jewel today is kind of just it's related to what I just kind of said, but mental health struggles look different for everybody, y'all. And don't be afraid to kind of talk about it. Now I am definitely afraid I'm still afraid in some aspects and some, steps in my journey. But there are people, or at least one person out there that loves you and cares about you and wants you to, tell them about these things. So I encourage you, so that you don't get to be kind of like my age. But if you are younger and you're watching this, I encourage you to start getting into those healthy coping mechanisms early. That way, it's easier for when you get older and you're still struggling with it. So yeah.
My jewel for this week. I'm sorry. My jewel for today would be. That's a good question. What is my jewel for today?
How you gonna ask me for a jewel and then you not have one? I mean, I understand not having one in the first place, but how you gonna ask me and then not have one?
No, because I have one, but you said it, so I want to have a different one.
All right, that's fine, because Cam asked the question. I think I'm just not looking at the comments, but
Cam asked a question and she said, I think she was talking about when I was saying therapy was a little bit difficult. Do I think it should be more accessible? Yeah, I think it is, Cam. I think that especially right now, I think a lot of therapists are actually opening up like like kind of how me and Coach Johnson are talking right now, kind of like tele appointments where you can like call somebody up or be in a chat room or download an app and be in a chat room. I think that I just didn't have an all the way open mind about it. And so as soon as I saw an obstacle, I was just like, all right, well, that's it. I probably could have worked around it better. But I think there are, certain challenges. And I think it can be accessible, especially to young people. But you just have to let those like minor obstacles, like, and when I said it was a financial issue, that's not really a minor obstacle. However, it could have been if I tried hard enough, because I had to just make a couple of calls and I probably could have gotten a sliding scale, which is like not a set price. So I probably could have gotten a lower price, but I didn't try hard enough.
Right. Okay. Well, my jewel for today would be, I would say, mental health is like in everyone. Either you know it or you don't. No, a lot of people have mental health issues and don't know it. Some of them could just be very, very minor. Some of them could be very, very major. But you might not know that you have it because you'll probably think everything is good or everything is fine and dandy when really you're like suffering from mental health issues. Anxiety is one of the mental health issues that really doesn't show up until you get diagnosed with it. So you won't know you have anxiety until somebody diagnosed you with anxiety. So basically, my jewel for today would be don't be a victim of mental health. Let it I wouldn't say let it run its course, but I would say more so fight through it, and like be determined that you're gonna get through it. Because if you just stay in that state of mind where mental health, I got mental health problems, I'm crazy, this, that, the third, you never get through it. But if you had that mindset where it's though you'd be like, I'm gonna get through this again, I'm gonna get through this, I'm gonna pray to God, I'm gonna leave it in his hands, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to get away from it, then you'll succeed, you'll be successful, I wouldn't say you'll like lose all mental health problems, but you'll lose more signs of, you'll lose more of the anxiety attacks, the more depression phases and the late nights and stuff like that. So definitely I would say don't be a victim of mental health. Don't let it describe you. Let it make you stronger than who you are today. So yeah, that's my truth for today.
All right. Okay. I like that. Came out of there. You did it. Cause you ain't have nothing. But no, I like that. That was really nice.
Thank you. Well, it is exactly 3:58, 3:59. And that is our end of the time for today's Meaningful Mondays. We had a great session today with Miss Morgan Prelo from Johns Hopkins University. Say nah, Miss Morgan from Heart Smiles, Heart Beat Mentor. Definitely you can check out more of Miss Morgan or Heart Smiles Success Sessions Mondays through Fridays at 12 p.m. on YouTube Live at Heart Smiles MD. We'll be back here Wednesday for Working Wednesdays with one of my good friends. This right here. Good old Camry is going to come on here, KR Smoothies. So one of the goals coming on here Wednesday. I can't wait to see this one. So she's going to come over here and we're going to talk about some things. And we'll get to working. So basically that's it for me. So thank you, Miss Morgan, for coming on. Enjoy the rest of your day. Everyone else that's watching this, see you guys Wednesday, 3 p.m. on YouTube Live.
Hit it for one time, Coach Justin. All right, see y'all.
See y'all.